Greetings to everyone. So now we are going to discuss a main topic in NMR spectroscopy, that is about chemical shift. Okay. So what is chemical shift? The chemical shift is defined as the difference in the parts per million between resonance frequency of the observed proton and tetramethylsilane hydrogens. So here, tetramethylsilane is used as a reference compound in NMR, and it is set at delta is equal to 0 ppm. Okay. So chemical shift will be what? Frequency of the signal minus frequency of the reference signal by spectrometer frequency into 10 power 6. Why into 10 power 6? Because we are converting that into ppm. Okay. So the units of chemical shift are ppm. That is why we are multiplying that with 10 power 6. Okay. Right. So we have in chemical shift, we have to study about shielding of protons and de-shielding of protons. Shielding of protons is whenever a nucleus has high electron density around it, that is, the nucleus is getting shielded by the other atoms. Okay, and thus from the external magnetic field and signals are upfield in the NMR spectrum. So suppose you have this NMR spectrum, okay, so the part which is on the right hand side is called as upfield and the part which is on the left hand side is called as downfield. Okay. So whenever you see upfield regions which are covered with NMR spectrum, that means you have to think that shielding is going to take place. What is this shielding? Suppose you have methane, okay, CH4, okay. So this carbon is surrounded by 4 hydrogen atoms, right? So these 4 hydrogen atoms will shield this carbon atom from the external magnetic field, okay. And what happens? The signals will come in the upfield region, okay. Then what is this de-shielding? Whenever there is lower electron density around the nucleus gets de-shielded and the external magnetic field and the signals are downfield in the NMR spectrum. Suppose you take the example of CHCl3, right? So there is only one proton there and 3 Cl atoms there. Okay. So what is this Cl atom doing? It is electronegative in nature. So what you'll write there, delta negative, delta positive for carbon, right? That means it is pulling away the electrons. So what is happening to the carbon? It is becoming positive, right? That is Cl will move away, right? And there is some vacancy there. That means it is getting de-shielded. The carbon atom is getting de-shielded. So whenever groups like this are present nearby the carbon atom, that means it undergoes de-shielding effect. Okay. So this de-shielding will come in the downfield region, that is on the left hand side of the NMR spectrum. Okay. So now we'll see what are the factors that affect this chemical shift. So first thing is electronegative groups. Then we have magnetic anisotropy of pi systems, and then hydrogen bonding. So electronegative groups. Electronegative groups attached to the carbon-hydrogen system decrease the electron density around the protons and there is less shielding and chemical shift increases. Okay. So you can see the table given down below. You have CH3I, CH3Br, CH3Cl and CH3F, right? So which has the more chemical shift? CH3F. Why? Because F is the most electronegative. Then you have CH3Cl, that is 3.10. So depending upon their electronegativities, the compound undergoes de-shielding effects. Okay? So the chemical shift always increases in the electronegative groups. Then we have this magnetic anisotropy of pi systems. So anisotropy itself means non-uniform. So magnetic anisotropy means there is non-uniform magnetic field. So electrons in pi systems like aromatic compounds, alkenes, alkynes, carbonyls, etc., they interact with the applied field which induces a magnetic field that causes the anisotropy. So if you take the benzene as an example, right, there are pi systems involved in it, right? These produce magnetic field already, right? And externally you are applying magnetic field again. So what is happening? Anisotropy conditions prevail, which causes both shielding as well as de-shielding of protons. Now coming to the next point, that is hydrogen bonding. So protons, hydrogen bonding, you can see generally in alcohols, water, etc., right? Esters, ethers. So hydrogen bonding, protons that are involved in hydrogen bonding are typically change the chemical shift values. That is, the more hydrogen bonding, the more proton is getting de-shielded and chemical shift value will be higher. Right? So this is an example of proton NMR spectra of ethanol. So you can see CH3, CH2, OH. So what is happening to this? There are 3 protons here, 2 protons here, OH proton here, right? And we are getting 3 signals here, right? So as I told you, for the chemical shift value, the CH3, okay? So these 3 protons which are on the methyl should come here, right? Then comes CH2. So this is CH2. Okay. And then this is the OH. Because it is coming de-shielded, so it is coming on the left hand side, that is it is getting de-shielded. So here you can see the splitting of these protons. Okay, how this splitting takes place. See, besides methyl group, there is CH2 group. That means you have to apply here n plus 1 rule. That is, if you add 2 plus 1, that will give you a triplet. So for this methyl group, you will get a triplet peak. Okay. Now, CH2 besides, you have CH3, right? So 3 plus 1, that is 4. So for this CH2 group, you should get a quartet, that is 4 signals, right? And then for this OH, because it is getting de-shielded, so you'll see a singlet peak here. Okay, so you can apply this n plus rule here. That is, number of signals you can indicate how many different. That means all these protons are not equivalent protons, isn't it? If you take the example of TMS, tetramethylsilane, all the 4, that is 12 hydrogens are equivalent in nature. That is why you are getting peak at 0. Okay, but all these protons are not equivalent in nature. So that gives us the number of signals. Then position of signals, that depends upon the chemical shift value. Then relative intensity of the signals, proportional to the number of protons present. Then splitting of signals, that is nearby nuclei, usually protons. How many number of protons are there? So depending on it, splitting takes place. Okay. That is n plus 1 rule. That is, if there are n number of hydrogens in the nearby nuclei, 0 H atom, you will get a singlet peak. 1 H atom, 1 plus 1, 2 doublet. If you have 2 H atoms, 2 plus 1, 3 triplet. If you have 3, 3 plus 1, 4, that is quartet. Okay. So similarly, you will get number of protons present there. Okay. Thank you.